taking a step. No more spills from the fountain. We won't stop taking a step. Over the moon, over the sun, we will continue to take that step. Over the moon, over the sun, we will continue to take that step. Made it this far, we have to keep on. No one will stop us taking a step. Flying to that stop, singing our song, sweep away the dust, taking a step. Over the moon, over the sun, we will continue to take that step. Over the moon, over the sun, we will continue to take that step. Higher heights, moving on, stepping on, taking that step. Keep on moving on, stepping up, taking that steps. We will continue to take that step.
Over the moon,
continue.
We will continue to take that step. Gonna have fun. We will continue to take that step. Feeling brand new, getting it done. We will continue to take that step. Taking a step.
Taking that step.
Taking a step. Take that step.
Over the hills, up the mountain, to the top, taking a step. No more spills from the fountain. We won't stop taking a step. Over the moon, over the sun, we will continue to take that step. Over the moon, over the sun, we will continue to take that step. Made it this far, we have to keep on. No one will stop us taking a step. Flying to that stop, singing our song, sweep away the dust, taking a step. Over the moon, over the sun, we will continue to take that step. Over the moon, over the sun, we will continue to take that step. Higher heights, moving on, stepping on, taking that step. Keep on moving on, stepping up, taking that steps. We will continue to take that step.
Over the moon,
continue.
We will continue to take that step. Gonna have fun. We will continue to take that step. Feeling brand new, getting it done. We will continue to take that step. Taking a step.
Taking that step.
Taking a tell me, 'cause I wanna know the truth. Can you tell me? I'm on a journey to find peace within my life. It's time to let go so I can climb to new heights. Nothing can stop me, I know, gonna make it to the end. Love is on my side, and I'm sure I'm gonna win. I wanna know the truth. I wanna know the truth. I wanna know the truth. Can you tell me? I wanna know the truth. I wanna know the truth. I want to know the truth. Can you tell me? It's been a long time that I've been searching for then one thing that makes my life complete. And I'm gonna hold on. I'm gonna be strong. 'Cause in my heart, the truth. So many illusions, so much confusions. I need a strong foundation, the pearl of truth that separates the dark from light, from day and night. Help me change and sacrifice the wrong.
Check. How can I find the truth? Let me count the ways. I can focus on my ancestors to brighten up my day. I can listen to a sage or an elder's wise words. Try some deep meditation where the Most High is served. Because the truth is beautiful, like children playing in the park, or inside of rhyme ciphers where genius is spark. Be the dark, the light, and all the time that's in between. And you can find mad truth inside a trance states and dream. Listen to that little voice if he telling you for true. And with a bit of divination, show you what you gonna do. Whether it comes abstract or the stone hard fact. Cause if it comes from God, it be the truth, that's that. Yo, no need to question, just learn the lesson. And ain't no stretching cause it's truth we're manifesting. Like what? Like what? What? 1, 2, I wanna know
Can
the
you
truth.
tell me? Can you let me know? I need to know the truth. Can you tell me? I really want to know the truth. I wanna know. I gotta know. I need to know the truth. I wanna know. I gotta know. I need to know the truth. I'm on a journey. I'm on a journey. I wanna find in my life. Yeah. Nothing can stop me. I wanna make it to the end. Love is on my side, and I know I'm gonna win. Oh, I wanna know the truth. I wanna know the truth. Can you tell me? Higher consciousness. Let's go higher in our consciousness. Let's go higher, higher consciousness. Let's go higher in our consciousness. Let's go higher. The time's come for me to change the way I think, to change the way I feel, for me to go beyond what everybody thinks, what everybody says is real. Today I take a step into a time and space of peace and possibility, and here I'm gonna stay until I find my place, my true divinity. Higher consciousness. Let's go higher, higher in our consciousness. Let's go higher, higher consciousness. Let's go higher, come on, in our consciousness. Let's go higher. The journey of 1,000 miles begins with just one step and one idea. I'm moving on, not knowing what is coming next. I'm getting close, I'm getting near to a part of me that touches everything, uniting all reality. I'm the middle between what earth and heaven brings. I am the I am the we. Yeah. Higher consciousness. Let's go higher, higher in our consciousness. Ooh, yeah. Let's go higher, higher consciousness. I'm on my way. Let's go higher. I'm going in today. Our consciousness. Yeah. sky with my mind holding tight. Clouds passing by. Clouds passing by. I'm gonna touch the stars. It's not very far. There is no limit to how high I can fly. Let's go higher in our consciousness. Come on, let's go higher. You can go consciousness if you want to. Let's go higher. Let's go higher in our consciousness. Higher consciousness.
Thank you so much. All right, here we are. Yeah. Thank you for being here. Neteru. Sounds like a crowd. Still not hearing? Let's see. I'm unmuted. Okay. Someone said it's better. Can you hear well now? Technology. Yes, we give thanks first and foremost to Sebek. That aspect of God, that angel that brought this project forth. You see, I couldn't say anything until I gave credit. All right, we're loud and clear now. Got a 3-second delay. All right, welcome everybody. Thank you for coming out to celebrate this moment. And first and foremost, all praises due. We say Dwa Neteru, we say Dwa'u to Nebuchadnezzar, the Lord of all, the one supreme being through which all great things come. For this day, for our health, for being able to come together, and for this project that my vision is that it will help. It will help us. It will help our people to put into practice so much of what we have been exposed to implement so much of the great wisdom and guidance that has come our way. And on that note, of course, I must give my thanks and my praise to my teacher and many of you who are listening and joining us. Your teacher, the wonderful work of Ra-U-Nefer Amen the First, the author of the 7-volume Neteru series, if you haven't been acquainted, and 30 some odd other books, as well as over 100 musical scores dedicated, the product of his sacrifice of his life as a professional musician, and dedicating that great talent to making music for meditation, music for healing, and so forth. So I would not be sitting here without his person and his great work. And today is really the product of my 40 some odd years of training under his guidance and having the experience of counseling and doing spiritual readings for people over 40 years and seeing the lack of implementation of the counsel. I'm guilty myself, but this effort is to help to make that process better, right? So that you can improve your lives through this spiritual wisdom. So I want to give thanks to my brothers and sisters here in the wonderful Hesper, Philadelphia. Wow to you for coming out and always being supportive to make it happen. I want to give thanks to our people online. I see Ma'am Ra, Rakatepu, peace and blessings. Mwena Basoro from Rwanda. Wow. Peace and blessings, brother. Welcome. Thank you for coming in. We have New York in the house. Chad Kater. I thought it was Chet Kater for a minute there. And Sister Lori, and we have Pittsburgh in the house. Brother Minikek, Sheka Minikek out there. And we have Philly in the house. Sister Lori, and we have Ma'imra, Isabel, not sure where you're from. Welcome, welcome, welcome. All right, peace and blessings. Thank you for being here. And the West Coast, West Side is here. Osara West Coast. Peace and blessings. Portugal is in the house. Oh, como vai você? Fala português? Of course. My Capoeira people. All right. So we're here to have the first of several, opportunities to talk about this work and to share with you most centrally the personal growth system. It's called a system because beyond the journal itself, the journal is supported by an online learning platform. I'm sure some of you who scanned the image, the QR code in the journal or on your calendar, right, and were able to register. I'm sure you got an email this morning, didn't you? You didn't check your email. You got an email this morning saying, hey, it's the Osset cycle. Today's the new moon, right? Right. So there will be online communication every month updating you as to the cycle that we're in and helping you to focus. Focus is so critically important to our growth and our development. So starting off with the calendar itself, first and foremost, this is our 2023 Kamitic astrological calendar. If you are just joining us and you haven't had a chance to get your calendar, the calendar actually runs until February of 2024. So you're not missing any months. You have enough time to get a full year's worth of work out of the calendar. And the calendar itself starts off, of course, giving our acknowledgments and then speaking about the fact that as a people and most people in the world, we're out of time. We're out of time. Now, you could take that two ways. But the out of time that I'm talking about is that we're living out of sync with what time really is, right? You say that this is January 21st, but what does that really mean? What is the reality of that? In other words, you're saying this is the 21st day of the first month of the year. But a lot of us have not spent the time asking those hard questions. And some of you have children like that would say, what's a year? What's a month? What's a week? What's an hour? Why is there 60 minutes in an hour? Where did minutes come from? You have any kids like that? Children like that? No? Yeah, that's the problem. Well, we're so distracted. We walking around, you say today's Saturday, you don't even realize that you're calling on a power called Saturn. That this day was named after a planetary energy. And you didn't ask the question, why? What is the significance of that? Right? What is January? Well, January is part of the calendar devised by the Gregorian Pope Gregory, right? The Gregorian calendar system. And it's really a civic calendar. It's not a calendar that's tied into the astrological forces that create what we call a year. How can you say that? Well, we know that the astronomical astronomy, right? The study of the movement of the stars and planets and the movement of the earth around the sun and so forth, right? That movement is what gives us time. Time is a function of movement. The movement of the earth in its orbit around the sun is what gives us the year. And the declination of the earth, that's the angle at which the earth is oriented towards the sun, is what gives us the seasons, the seasonal changes, right? This is how time is affecting our lives. Well, that seasonal change happened on December 25th. That's really the new year. The solar year starts on December 25th. It has nothing to do with January 1st. January 1st is an invention. It's a convention, right? Like we all need to agree on what the date is, right? We all need to agree so that we can manage the industrial civic side of life, of the world. But it has nothing to do with the underlying forces that make up a year. And you might say, well, why is that important? Because energy governs everything. Everything moves through cycles of energy. And this is why the ancient people, when you look at Kemet, when you look around the world at the various temples and pyramids, you'll find one striking thing in common, and that is they are precisely oriented to astronomical constellations. They're precisely oriented in such a way that they can serve as clocks, as calendars. Did you know that? The Great Pyramid, for example, so precise, it indicates the occurrence of the equinoxes and the solstices. And the shafts in the pyramid are oriented to stars that indicate certain cycles that are very critical to the renewal of your spirit and to the Kamitic, philosophy, spirituality, and so forth. And you find this throughout many of these temples. So why would ancient people devote what would be the equivalent today of billions or trillions of dollars, right? Thousands of lives. My grandfather was one of the diggers, right, who came from Jamaica to dig out the Panama Canal by hand. Thousands of people died to dig the Panama Canal. Why did we dig the Panama Canal? Because that's a major route for trade, right? For the ships to be able to now pass through that part. That opened up commerce and economy and so forth. So society sacrificed the lives of thousands of people. Hey, that happens, right? For that project. Why would our ancestors have 20-year-long projects? Spending trillions of dollars and organizing the lives and jeopardizing possibly the lives of hundreds or thousands of people, right, to build these monuments. Now, the Egyptian, some of the Egyptian grave robbers would say that's because we had megalomaniacal kings that had to have a bigger pyramid than this one, and so forth and so on, right? But when you look at the function of the Great Pyramid, for example, and peace and blessings, welcome. If you go to osirisetpa.com, you scroll all the way down to the bottom, there's a beautiful promotion for a video called Great Pyramid 2019. And they show you the Africans build the pyramid, how we did it. But they also show you in great mathematical detail the knowledge of the meter, the knowledge of the golden ratio of pi. And all this was known by the Africans in the Nile Valley when they built these temples. And they say in this documentary, which is well done, that it's the greatest man-made expression of pi and these special numbers, these mathematical principles ever built. That is where we stored our knowledge in the construction of these type of buildings, right? But what they don't say, which they may not be aware of, is what is the spiritual function of the cycles that underlie these buildings, right? So I'm saying that all to say that we're out of time. We're living each day, and the personal growth system and journal and calendar is to help you to live a better life, right? It's a planner, it's an organizer, because you want to have a great 2023, don't you? You want to achieve things in your career. You want to do better as a parent. You want to get the insight, the guidance, and the talent that you need to be able to steer your children's life in the right way. You want to sustain a relationship or attract better relationships or form partnerships. You want to improve your health. We all have these goals that we need to achieve in our lives, don't we? Well, why would you discard one of the most important factors to your success? And that is time and timing. Time. Time is a force. It's an energy. You know that because you have different moods, you call them, right? And you have modes, right? Can you look back at your life and say, wow, I was real productive. I don't know what it was about that year, but I wrote these songs, or I had this, right? I don't know what it was about that year, but that was the year that my social life was popping. I met my mate. I had, other partners, and things were really moving. I don't know what it was about that year, but that was the year that my wealth, I was able to accumulate and make things happen in business, right? I don't know what it was about that year, but I was feeling great. And then I went into this slump, or then I got writer's block, or then I had all I had this spiral of events that happened that kind of turned my life around, right? So a mood or a mode is generated by cycles, Everything has its season. Everything has its time. So this was understood by our ancestors, and that's why we built these monuments, these devices. If you think about it, what more effective way could you store that knowledge for eternity? What more effective way could you signal to your population, generation after generation, what time it is, what is important, what you should be focusing on, right? And in your portal, well, let's start with this right here. Here we go. Let's start with the book of Revelations. In the Bible, in the book of Revelations, there's some deep things in the Bible now. And this is one of the deepest things. It says, and this is Revelations, right? After all the drama that happens in the Bible, this is the end. And it says, and he showed me a pure river of water of life, clear as crystal, proceeding from the throne of God and the Lamb. In the middle of its street on either side of the river was the tree of life. Tree of life. Tree of life appears in Genesis, and then it's not talked about for the whole rest of the book. And in Genesis, it says we have to put them out of the garden before they put their hands on the tree of life. So the tree of life comes back in Genesis. And it says here, and this is the part I want you to capture. I want you to get this. Peace and blessings of brother Suleiman. It's happening. Sister Pamela. Greenville, South Carolina. Brother Travis, welcome. Thank you. In this book of Revelations, it says, now catch this. There was a tree of life which bore 12 fruits, each tree yielding its fruit every what? Every month. Every month. So here's the book talking about this powerful occurrence at the end of the world where the new order comes into being, right? And we are obviously on earth still, because there ain't no months in heaven. Heaven is beyond physical space and time. So we're talking about on earth, there's this tree, and every month, and what is a month? A month is a mooneth. It's a lunar cycle. January is not a month. You see, today is the new moon. And since we have correct astrology, we know that this is the cycle, the lunar period of that part of God's spirit, Holy Spirit that we would call Oset, right? Oset is the great mother aspect of God. There's one God, but God has different faculties. This is the great mother, Oset. They named Paris after Oset, Isis, Paris. The Black Madonnas all over Europe, right? The mother and child. That power of God that cares for the world. That power of God that makes us devoted. Gives you your devotion to spirituality and reflects your devotion to your children, family, you know, what true love is. So this is a power of God, right? So we know that that month has started this just today on the new moon. So this tree of life bears a fruit every month. It's a different fruit. What tree do you know bears a fruit every month? There is no tree that bears a different fruit every month. This is a spiritual tree we're talking about, right? Because in our Kamitic system, we understand that man is made in the likeness of God. God is all powers at once, and man is God manifesting through time. You see? So the month, the mooneth, the lunar cycle, the book is telling you that there is a fruit for you every month. And it also says the leaves of the tree of life were used as a healing of nations, right? So we have leaves and we have fruits. Now you can't eat leaves, but leaves is the herbs, right? Meaning that this tree gives you what you need to heal. This tree gives you what you need to solve the problems of life, to repair yourself, to regenerate. But it's the fruit that you should eat. And when you eat fruit, you nourish yourself, right? You get the nutrients and the vitamins and the elements in order to build your strength, to build your health, to support your efforts in the world. So this beautiful statement that every month, right, there is a fruit for you to eat. This is astrology in its highest spiritual aspect. See, astrology is not about, you know, your birth chart. That's one thing, your birth chart. But you're not a static being. You all know astrology, right? You know astrology works? Sidereal astrology, right? You have the accurate picture of your birth. You're born on a certain day at a certain time. You take it to a competent astrologer, the correct astrology system, and they can tell you about yourself. They can tell you before that child is even 1 year old, what that child's mentality will be, what their personality will be, what their talents will be, How can you know that? By looking at the date and time of birth, because your spirit is imprinted with an energy that's dominant at that time. And it's so powerful that it plays a major role in the determination of your natal, your nativity, right? You're naturally born. The word naturally comes from neter, natura, right? Meaning what God power was dispensed to you according to what was available on earth when you took your first breath. Isn't that deep? But it doesn't stop, because the person that's born today is inhaling that breath that's dominant today. Aren't you inhaling that breath as well? Yes. So that faculty that's nourished by the energy that's predominating today is available as the fruit for you to nourish yourself. Because you are a God man, a God woman in potential. You are neither one of these powers. You are neither one of these energies. You are the consciousness that is dwelling on the earth, and you have the capacity to manifest all of the various powers and talents of what others call the angels. We call them the Neteru, to not separate them from Neter, which is God. These are the faculties. These are the organs of God, in the same way that you have organs in your body, right? And your organs in your body have an intelligence and they have a power. Your liver, for example, is amazing. If you haven't done so, you should do a little quick research on the liver, the functions of the liver. And you'll find that the liver is a master factory, chemical factory, produces all these different chemicals to, manipulate different functions of your body. That's an intelligence, not just a lump, a piece of matter. There's an intelligence within your liver. And when that intelligence goes awry, then health is jeopardized, right? So your organs carry an intelligence, but they also carry a power, the energy to carry out the function. You with me? There's an energy to carry out the function. So it's the same way with the organs of God that we call the Neteru, the angels, the orishas, so forth. These are the carriers of the knowledge and the power to make things happen. Do you need some power to make things happen? Yeah, right? You need that divine guidance. You need to intuit, to be taught from within. You need to be inspired, inspirited, right? You need to educate, to bring out from within that intelligence. And you need to bring the powers, the various powers. So our understanding of life is that God made you in his likeness and sent you to this place called earth. And earth is rough. Earth is rough. You know what I'm talking about. You see the symbol of newt in our logo. You know, newt is heaven. So in the Kamitic concept, heaven is female, because that's the mother. That's where we go to nurse. That's where we go to get healed. That's where we go to receive the nourishment that we need, right? The earth is a rough dude with calloused hands, put his hands on you, smack you around. We say in Kamitic, earth is the proving ground, right? You was in the Marines? No, you was in the Rangers. They got a place called the proving ground, right? Something proving ground in Maryland or whatever. I don't know. It's a place they take you and torture you and beat you and put you through, get you to the point where you think you're going to die, that your body can't go any further, right? It's a proving ground. It make you strong, prepare you for the hell that's going to break loose should you be in war, right? So earth is a proving ground. And earth is not made for human beings. This is a Kamitic philosophy. Not made for human beings. So when you look up at heaven, you say, my God, it's not humanly possible for me to make it in this world. You're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. This wasn't made for human beings to deal with. It's too much to deal with for a human being. It's made for gods. It's the proving ground of your divinity. So God sent you to earth with this tree so that you could eat, you could nourish your divine powers. So you could deal, because that's what every challenge that you have in life, it appears on a schedule. That's another part of this calendar, right? And its relationship with the oracle system that we've been blessed to have. We can predict, we can know. Yeah, my major challenges in life is governed by this part of the spirit, this neter, this reading. And I guarantee you, when that cycle comes around, hello, it's going to be like, oh, this is what we've learned over the last 40 years. It's uncanny how things unfold in the cycle of the neter that governs that area of your life, right? So that's the beauty, the mercy of God, is that where the problem is, the solution's already there. That's how you got to look at it. See, we don't look at it as, oh, this deity is spanking me or doing something. No, that's part of your spirit. That's you. That's part of your spirit. And when that energy swells, because this is the month, right? And the things that you need to manifest. See, in the tarot, there's the upside down man, right? Meaning that we want to go to God to get the power to solve a problem, right? God wants us to have a problem so we can get the power. Because you can't get the power. The power comes on demand. It's on demand. I'm not talking about your cable bill. I'm talking about you can't get the power because you wish for it or you chant for it. The power has to come through a vehicle. So it comes in response to a demand. And the wisdom comes in response to demand. Some of you are old enough to remember the 8-ball, right? You shake the 8-ball. Some of y'all don't know what I'm talking about. It was an old toy. You shake the 8-ball, you're asking a question. This was a very bad oracle, right? Wasn't even no oracle. Shake this thing, and then, the answer comes up, it's like that. It's got to shake you up, and then the answer is going to come. It's going to pop out of you, if you are living the divine law. So that's what the calendar is about. And, in here, it begins to talk about observing the lunar cycle. And we want to ride the energies of the lunar cycle. So the lunar cycle starts at the new moon, and it goes through the quarters to the full moon, to the final quarter. And then at the end of the cycle, there's another new moon for the next 28-day cycle. So this is a wave. It's an energy that's coming up at the new moon. It peaks. It reaches its fullness at the full moon, and then it goes down, right? And it wanes. So the science behind this, and this is the science. If you were a fisherman or fisherwoman, you would already know. You wouldn't go out and go fishing if you didn't know what time it was. And they don't look at the calendar, say it's January 21st. They look at the cycle of what? The moon, because the moon exerts a powerful magnetic effect on the atmosphere of the earth, and it pulls the water. It pulls the tides. But you're mostly water. Your body is 90-something% water, fluid, right? That's what's in your cells, your brain. So your tides are affected as well. Your mood or your mode of functioning is fluctuating according to this 28-day cycle. So when you say, hey, I'm going to start a new habit on February 1st, it's already too late, because the month started on the 21st of January, right? So Dwanite, we have a calendar. That's why in your calendar and in your journal, it may be the first time you've ever seen a calendar organized that when you flip the page, it's not dealing with the 1st, 2nd, 3rd of the month, 31st of the month. This month's calendar starts on the 21st of January, because that's when the month actually starts, January 21st. So it means today, if you have aspirations, things you need to get done this month, if you have things you need to change about yourself, right? Your mind, your spirit is going through this fluctuation, And right now it's asking you, what do you want me to work on? Your mind is your obedient servant, or it's your wicked master. It depends on how you learn how to work with your mind. So right now your mind is saying, yeah, whatever, what you want to do this month. And if you don't know that, you're just doing what you always do every day. You watching your videos and playing your games and random on an expedition of random thinking. You randomly thinking about that, you randomly think about the other. You don't have any design, right? The moon is the woman, the womb. Look at that. How is that possible that the human female has a 28-day gestational period? And she's not fertile every day of that month. She has a cycle, right? Every month, and is in lockstep with the cycle of the moon. You think that's coincidence? So you can impregnate the woman and give birth to a child on this cycle. You can impregnate your mind and give birth to a new aspect of yourself every 28 days. But you need to know when she's fertile. So it starts with the 21 days, right? Starting with the new moon. Shechem Shechem, Raul Nephamen gave us the Tree of Life meditation system years ago and taught us about the Ebbinghaus curve of forgetting and the 21 days it takes to form a new habit and all this great knowledge. That's what this calendar is based on. It's time to start that today, right? And work on that for 21 days straight. And then you have 7 days of the month to evaluate your situation, your progress, and plan your next day. And then at the new moon, you start again. You see, that's hooking up your growth and your aspirations, your goals, right, with the natural cycles that would support it. Does it make sense? And this is what our ancestors knew. We knew that. We want to have a success system in life, then we want to give people the knowledge that for them to achieve what they need to achieve in their lives, they need to hook it up with the natural cycles of the earth. Now, the other thing that's happening every month is that the moon is like a giant magnifying glass, right? It's pulling this energy, and what is behind the moon are a different constellation every full moon. And what is a constellation? A constellation is a group of stars. And stars are powerful. Our sun is a star, right? So they emanate this light, this energy, this vibration, and it affects the energetic envelope of the earth, right? What stars are radiating towards us affects that. And just like with astrology, when you can say, well, my moon was over here, my sun was there, and therefore this shaped certain things in my life and my personality, that is a continuous process that's going on throughout the year, right? So our ancient ancestors recognized that there was a pattern here, that people born when certain stars were prominent had certain characteristics, had personality aspects, talents, right? Were good at certain jobs, occupations, certain areas of their life would do well, would struggle in other areas of your life. This is what they worked out through the science of astronomy and astrology, which is now cataloging the effect that these energies, these stellar radiations are having on people's mentality, on the formation of their habits and so forth, right? So the moon is one of the most powerful influences, and it's projecting what's behind it and saturating the earth with that. That's why in astrology, your moon sign, is very important, is one of the strongest determinants of your personality, right? Because this is what you naturally do, what you indiscriminately do. So the second thing that's happening in the month, besides we talked about riding the wave of receptivity of your mind, an opportunity for you to link your efforts at personal growth, spiritual growth, achieve your goals, achieve your aspirations, right? Goals are things you got to get done. I'm going to clean my room this month. I'm going to get more organized. I got to get my house in order. I got to, file my taxes. Those are things to get. Those are goals, right? Aspirations is eating the fruit. Who are you going to be? You can organize something but not be organized. You know what I'm saying? You know, you can write a song but not be a musician. There's two different things. So aspiration, what you aspire, what you breathe in, is that what it is? What you absorb, and becomes part of you. So you should have goals, but you should also have aspirations. So in our system, we say, oh, it's a month of Osset. Osset is motherliness, caring. You know, love is caring. The fundamental of love is caring, not attraction, not thrills, chills, good times. You make me feel good. You make me laugh and all that. You know, you want a mate, you want a partner, a parent, you want caring, right? And the height of caring is the ability to anticipate a need before a person even asks you. You know what I'm talking about, right? Somebody care for you. They do something for you. You didn't even have to ask. You'd be like, oh, wow. Oh, that was so thoughtful. Right. You thought about me. You were receptive to what I needed. This is one of the great powers of Osset, which goes all the way to your receptivity to the needs of God. That's another conversation. The greatest needs of the greatest person, the greatest aspect of your life, because God is there with you. God has needs too. So that's the expression of devotion, right? Spiritual devotion. They even call it devotion, some traditions, right? I have to do my devotion. They're talking about when they sit down and do their meditation, their ritual, whatever they did, they call it my devotion. So this Osset is devotion. So aspirations, you know, you have to look at that. I want to be more devoted. And when somebody's extremely devoted, you say they're devout, unshakable, give your life for your child, for your mate, for God, for what you know that you need to do in this world. You have a devoutness about you. That's devotion. So these are qualities of Osset. So we know that this month, the next 28 days, that fruit is on the table for you to eat. But you have to know what it is and appreciate it and understand. Otherwise, things will happen this month to test your devotion. Not because somebody's intentionally trying to mess with you. No, that's what's riding on that energy. And as that energy is coming into you, what blockages you have because you have limits to your devotion and things that you haven't worked out, is going to hit against that blockage, and then you're going to have a problem. You're going to have an issue. But the purpose of that is to bring you to your attention. Open yourself to receive this fruit of Osset, because this fruit will nourish you and will last after your list of goals is long gone. Will last even after you leave this earth. This is the fruit that nourishes your spiritual development. You see what I'm saying? So you have goals and you have aspirations. So the second thing that's happening in the month is that you have available this energy, right? And this intelligence of God to nourish you, to make you to make you greater in that area. And when you are great in all areas, then you're whole or holy. That's what holiness really is. You're whole. Your Osset faculty is on and functioning. Your Sebek is strong. Your Tahuti is popping. Your Sekert is rock solid. You know, you got all the Neteru. These are the components. That's what you call health, right? You can't say, "Oh, I'm healthy." You know, 6 out of 10 of my primary organs are functioning well. You're in trouble. I got a weak heart, but everything else is good. You need to be whole. That's what holiness is about. So this is the tree that's feeding you every month. So last month was Sebek. Yeah, we use the word Sebek, in Puepuat, because Sebek is a term that ties into Seb. It's another word for Geb. And the primary faculty, Sebek, deals with your earth-born, ideas and intelligence. Our Yoruba brothers, sisters say, Legba, Eshu, there's a little devil in there. Yeah, because your earth-born intelligence will get you in trouble, because intelligence and wisdom is not the same thing. Just look around you. We have a lot of intelligence. We have a lot of information in the world. This is the point in history where there is more information available to the average person than ever before. And look at where it's got us, on the brink of self-destruction. Destroy the environment, destroy the planet, destroy each other, create, objects and technology that can threaten us, right? That's all Sebek's domain. Don't blame Sebek. That's, you got that one thing popping out of context with the other faculties that are supposed to keep that in check and under direction. That's why I have the great tree of life, which gives you a hierarchical, complementary understanding of how these powers work together to make a whole, right? So Sebek, right? This was his month, which just ended yesterday. I don't know if I can blow that up. But you'll notice on your calendar, right? You see the, it's kind of a little hard to see here. You see the Sebek, that's the Mercury symbol. Let's go to Osset. You can see her. She started today. Yeah, this is not the journal is just that month, right? But Osset starts right here, right? On the 21st. And you see the symbol of the moon on Mondays, right? Because Osset energy is of a lunar nature. So that's just a thing to say to you, these Mondays are very important days for you to, if you want to eat of this energy, right? You would plan your meditations on a Monday, right? If you knew that Osset governed your relationship and how you had to rear a child, right? Then that would be the day that you would want to have that conversation, right, with that child, because the energy is there to support you, to say the right things, to do the right things at that moment, as opposed to, I got to talk to you right this now because I got to get it off my chest. No, you need to have that conversation when the child is receptive and when you are in the right frame of mind. So this is what we're talking about the calendar and the planning and the structuring, is that once you know that your performance in life, everything you do is riding on an energy, then we want to coordinate the energy with the task. Not just when you meditate, but when you meet, right? And on the side of your calendar, you'll see these planetary hours, because this thing is deep. It goes right down to the hours. We plan this meeting to be in a particular hour. That's my planner, right? This is just a sample. That's only for East Coast and UK. Depending on where you are in the country, you can go to planetaryhours.com, has a decent one. There's also apps, right, on your phone that you can get. We're on this camera. Oh, we're not on camera. Got to be on camera. There you go. See that? So right now, oh, look at that. What a coincidence. We're in Sebek cycle. We're in the Sebek hour. So when I make my schedule, and somebody say, oh, we're going to meet or we're going to do this, pop this open. No, let's not do it at 12. Let's do it because I'm not that smart. I know for things to go well, I need help. It needs to go in the cycle that's going to support it. Does it make sense? So this is a very deep science that, understanding that energy governs, your performance. You want to plan things where you have the support of the energy that is responsible for your success. And that's why our ancestors devoted so much energy, so much time, so much resource, and were able to have very successful societies, right? So you scan this code in your journal or on your calendar, and you can get some more information about that. A little information about how the 7 planetary, why is it 7 days in a week? Well, a month is 28 days, right? So you divide that by 4 phases. So that's where you get the 7-day week from. And then the planetary hours, according to the hours of daylight and darkness, there's a mathematical division there that tells you what planetary hour it is. And then when you look at the rotation of the planetary hours, what comes up at sunrise is what determines that day. And the energy that the planet that's dominating the hour at sunrise is what the day is named for. So that's how we get the Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Even though planets don't move in that order, when you work it out with the 24 hours, that's how the day comes about. So once you really get into this stuff, you don't have to get all detailed, complicated with it, but it makes you sit back and wonder, I know one question I have is, okay, who has this knowledge that's been able to keep us on track? Because we verified that this is accurate. This is actually a Saturday. So somebody had to know that, and keep the calendar of the world moving on that schedule, right? I mean, why wouldn't after all of these thousands of years it be off? So somebody has that knowledge and has kept us on track with that. Just things that make you go, So in here, you also have the 11 laws of the Paut Neteru, right? Because law, is kind of like the user manual to the power, right? So the power of Oset, the power of Herukahuti, the power of Sebek, right, can be used or misused. You can fall into the vices of that energy, right? Because otherwise, everybody born, I'm sure there's people that were born in the hour of Oset on a Monday in Oset cycle. You say, like this is the divine expression of Oset here. But no, it doesn't work that way, right? That person will have a strong energy, but they could be very indolent. They could be very neglectful. They could be selfish. They could be moody, and, they could manifest the negative side of that energy, right? So the energy itself does not give you good character. It just shapes your personality. Character is something else. That has to do with how you have matured and developed to live according to the laws that govern the proper use of that energy. Does that make sense, right? The proper use of that energy. So the laws are what guide you. That's what you focus on in your meditations. That's what you focus on in your conduct, so that you keep yourself in the right state to be able to harness that energy and express it in its virtue as opposed to its vice. So you have the laws here, and then you have the correspondences to the various Neteru and their astrological traits, right? What you don't have in here completely, because, and this would have been a huge book. So this is just a planner, a journal. It's just a planning tool, is the support of the volumes of Neteru and other materials, the classes that the various groups in Osar will give you to help you to get all of the information that you need to really live this as a way of life. So this kind of start off as an internal tool. This kind of start off after all these years of people, including my own children, saying, what cycle are we in? I would get a call, because they know enough to know that when certain things are happening, they need to look around and say, wait a minute, why did that happen? What cycle are we in? Or the other one is, what reading was that again? You do a reading, you forget about it. You're not organized to implement the reading. So that's where this is coming from. So find out where you can get the support. We have a list of different aspects of the community and so forth. Okay. They chatting it up with the planetary hours on there. So then it starts with your key readings, your spiritual readings. So if you have access to the Neteru Oracle, right, the Neteru Oracle will give you planetary correspondences, right? So in the Neteru Oracle, there's a planetary correspondence, the sevenfold organization of energy. So you know Herokahuti corresponds to Mars. And then you'll learn, about the numerical correspondences, the colors, the personalities, and what have you. And this will help you to see, the expression of that aspect of God. So you have your area to organize your key readings in here. There's a 6-month health assessment in the book because it's a good idea to take a look at your health every 6 months. Your health is your major resource. Your health is critically important. It's something you need to pay attention to. It's the cornerstone of your spiritual development is your health. So every 6 months, if you have the ability, you want to get a reading to monitor what's going on with your health. A lot of times that reading might talk about your key stress point because stress is one of the key underminers of our health. So that reading might advise you, that, your anxiety over this, your depression over this, your challenge you're having in a relationship, the challenge you're having financially, whatever, is the doorway through which illness will come into your life if you mismanage that, right? And then those of you that are studying Qigong with us, or you have traditional Chinese medicine advisor, you can get your pulses read, or you can go in your portal. You'll see the book, Qigong prescriptions, right? You do your 5-organ energy profile. Just check off, and it'll let you know whether you have certain excesses, deficiencies, and this way you can monitor your, Qigong exercise practice to help to balance your energies and keep yourself in good health. Take better care of yourself, right? So you could take better care of others. And here's a place for you to put your recommendations. So if the book says I need to do kidney, tonification, right? Or I need to do liver stasis. If you're not familiar with these terms, you're not familiar with these exercises, this is why you come to a set and find out about these books and the classes so that you can put these factors into your life. It's not enough to pump iron and to do cardio. Yes, we need to do that. But there are other exercises to strengthen your internal organs and their psychical counterparts, very important part of your life, which will bring you a lot of success. So you want to look into that. And here's where you can write down what the recommendations are so that over that 6 months, because we forget, don't we? Don't we forget? We forget. Can't even remember what we forgot. We forget. We're not mindful. So the purpose of this is a mindfulness tool so that you will go back and then you check your performance. And one of the most important parts in here, after you get this, you have your cycle of the month. So you have the correct astrology to know what time it is, what you should be focusing on. You can do a reading there. Yeah, we got you. We recorded this. You have your focus for the month and you see life areas. Let me just jump over here first. Some areas for notation. But, this is so critical, the focus tracker, right? So what I'm sharing with you right now, if you have your journal, tonight is when you need to fill this out right here. Because if you're like me, I'm sure there's some things that you're not doing consistently. You're not doing it. I gave you some suggestions here, like hydration is very important for your health, right? You might want to start your day. This has really helped my person. You start your day with 2 large glasses of warm water every morning before you do anything else. Warm, right? Don't challenge your spleen by drinking ice cold water. You drink some warm water in the morning. It will help you flush, help your elimination, help your digestion, detoxification, simple thing like that. But we forget. You say, oh, I just forgot to drink water for the last 7 days. What's wrong with you? Isn't that true? So you're going to write that one down. And you got to make it a habit. And the way you make it a habit is you do it 21 days in a row, and it will stick. So that's why you have the circles there to check off. I did it. I did it. I did it. Oh, I'm rolling. I got a 7-day streak going. Keep going, right? That's how you build a habit. You know, you got to hydrate, get enough sleep. If you're not getting enough sleep because you don't go to bed, that's one thing. You know, because you're just up, right? You're playing with your phone. You're looking at stuff, right? You're sitting there in the dark with your pupils fully dilated, looking at your bright multi-pixel, whatever they have now, super radiant astral phone screen, you know, and then you can't go to sleep when it's time to go to sleep, or you don't sleep long, you don't get refreshing sleep. Sleep is critical. It's critical. You got to get your sleep. Quality of your sleep. So you need to monitor that. These are success habits, right? Fitness. You need to exercise in all forms, breathing, qigong, cardio, strength training, you know. These are things, y'all, nobody can take away from you. Nobody can take away from you. We all complain sometimes. We complain about life. Oh, the man, this and this happening and what's going on and what have you, you know, and you have a sense of you don't have any control. But the things on this list, you have complete control and responsibility for. So get your life in order, because you are the master of how you treat yourself. And if you're not eating right, exercising, hydrating, meditating, breathing exercise and all that, then there's one person you need to get with tonight when you get home. Get in the mirror, because you're the one that's in your way. You're the one that is processing disease instead of processing health, right? You're the one that's processing and cultivating weakness. And then when something happens and you're falling apart and you say, oh, I just don't feel, I don't have the strength. Okay, right. But why are you so weak in your response? Why are you not able to give a God response? Hold on to your peace, because you cultivate meditation constantly, right? You meditate at least half an hour every day, maybe half an hour twice a day. Nobody can stop you from doing that. Back in the day, they could stop you from doing that. Now they can't stop you, right? Can't stop you from drinking good water. Can't stop you from doing some breathing exercises. They can't stop you from exercising your body. And, you know, yeah, financial considerations may be a challenge, but then you really got to look with yourself. You might have to turn off your Netflix, turn off your HBO, turn all that stuff off and buy some supplements. Natural eating is a thing of the past. There ain't no natural eating. There's no natural food. There's no way you can go in the world and not be exposed to pesticides, radiation, all this stuff that's going on. You do the best you can, but you got to take some herbs. You got to take some supplements to supplement your diet. And fortunately, they're available to you now. So make the way to get the money and invest in yourself. And if you don't take your supplements every day consistently, look in the mirror. You are the problem. You are preparing yourself to get sick, to get ill. And you know what I'm talking about, because we've lost a lot of people, you know, with this pandemic and all of that. And a contributing factor, it's not the whole story, a contributing factor is the lack of good health and vitality of people, because they are negligent of their health. They just don't, most people just don't know. We just don't know. But you know better. So this is your Herokahuti page, right? This is where you get rough and tough with your person and you hold yourself accountable. And it's a critical factor in your personal growth, is how you hold yourself accountable. So fill this page out tonight. You believe in affirmations, you know they work, you just don't do it often. So put that down and mark it off, you know. Declarations has to do with some Kamitic spiritual things. And there's other things. This is not exhaustive, right? So there's other things that you will identify, right? Like you might even take this to the level of, okay, it's a set cycle. I'm really looking at my person. You know, I'm really not a very caring person when it comes to personal relationships. When I really just step outside my person for a minute and look, you know, because somebody will ask me, well, how's your mate? Oh, good. What are they into now? I don't really know because I haven't asked them. You know, I don't even know what's really most important to them, right? You know, because it's not the kind of quality conversations that I have with them. It's no blame. It's just people have different personalities. Some people are more naturally socially connected and caring and whatever than others. So you might put on here on this list, this is your checklist, right? This is your focus list, you know, some way for you to identify what would be a change, an effort that you would make, right? Like I'm going to have a quality conversation with my mate every day, right? I'm going to ask them how they're doing, and I'm going to be generally supportive, and I'm going to spend time thinking about how I can help them to achieve what's important to them. That's a great relationship quality, right? Some of us are born with it. Some of us don't have much of it. So that's what this page is for. This is one of the most important pages in a journal, is that it gives you an opportunity to really look at your person and plan how you're going to change over the next 28 days. And the greatest part of this is when you look back, right? So 6 months from now, when you turn that page and you see, oh man, I didn't get it together in that month. I didn't even write anything down in that month. I didn't even pick up the book. And then the third month, yeah, I got back on it. You'll see the inconsistencies, right? And the inconsistencies are, you know, we all have to fight that battle, right? It's easier just to let things go the way they are. And the next time you have a crisis, you know, I got to get it together. Sorry, it's a little rough, right? Because this is a lot of years of counseling people. They come back, don't know the reading, never did one meditation on it, never cracked the book, didn't follow any of the prescriptions, because divination, counseling, people think more about prediction, Oh, it was a good reader because predicted all this stuff that would happen to me, You can have somebody predict some stuff and give you no prescriptions to fix it. Or somebody predict very lightly, not really focus on that, and say, this is what you need to do. And you did none of it. Because you're not in the habit of that. You're not conditioned. You think that it's fortune telling. It's, and people approach astrology. That's the powerful thing about what Shechem has taught us. And we're going to wind down and take some questions, is that the most important thing about astrology is you ruling your stars, not you being ruled by your stars. So we get all fascinated with somebody can tell us this and predict that. But what do you do about it? How do you maximize your successes, your aptitudes that are in your chart? How do you minimize the conflicts and problems that are in your chart? That is the most important thing to focus on. So what we have here is we have a tree that can talk. That's the Neteru oracle. And we have astrology in progression. So your astrology is not fixed. You are what was dealt to you. You have the ability to change your chart if you look at it that way. You see what I'm saying? You say, oh, my Mars is messed up. It's in, I don't even know what the terminology is. It's conflicted. It's, it's all messed up in my chart. Well, you got 2 Herugahuti cycles a month, and you got Tuesday every week. And there's sounds and exercises and rituals you can do, and you can eat that fruit, and you can change your chart that way. That's what we have in our hands, right? So that's what this is all about. And there's pages in here for you to journal so that if you're doing your meditations, that's the other thing. Once you get your life force in order, your dream life is very important, and you will find, whatever your reading is that tells you, okay, this part of the spirit is in charge of this part of my life. When that cycle comes around or that day comes around, that energy is strong. And there's other things. I'm simplifying, right? There's cycles within cycles, but when that cycle is dominant, then you will have the dream. And the dream is your self-correction mechanism. It's giving you insight and understanding. Once you understand the language of the spirit, then it becomes much clearer to you, and your dreams, will become more prophetic, more, your ability to extract, knowledge from your dreams, and to check, your movement of certain things, to remind you about things you're neglecting, or to bring to your attention things that you don't really put enough emphasis on, right? That your dreams will take on that kind of character. So these are the things that you want to note. And what I wanted to share with you today and convey to you about this journal is that the most powerful thing of this journal will really manifest itself next year when you look back and you have a record of your readings and your dreams and your activities and your consistencies and your inconsistencies, and you're able to see the progress that you made in the year. And then you go into the following year now armed with this knowledge, right? Now you're living your life on purpose, not by accident. You're living in time and not out of time, right? So that's the basic structure of what we have. We're going to be doing this again next Saturday at 5 p.m. And those of you that are in New York or close to New York, we're going to be in Brooklyn, New York at the it can get that address for me. I don't have it at hand. I would appreciate that. We can put it in the stream here on Facebook and so forth. But Nicholas is a beautiful shop that carries a lot of herbs and oils and cultural items, clothing, books, and so forth. So they have the calendar there now, and the journal there. You can go over to Nicholas and get it. Or you can come next Saturday, that's the 28th of January, at actually, if you come at the talk is going to be at 5 p.m., but at 3 p.m., we're going to have readings, spiritual readings. So those of you that don't have access to the Medunitaire Oracle, you'll be able to come to Nicholas next week at 3 o'clock, and there will be a number of very experienced priestesses there doing Medunitaire readings, so that you can fill out that first part of your book. We'll also have the Medunitaire Oracle cards, and volume 3 of the Medunitaire Oracle, of the Medunitaire series that has the Oracle in it, will be available for purchase that day at Nicholas. And we have a special guest appearance by the author, Ra'u Neframen, who is going to be there visiting. And those of you that want to get a book or already have a book, he's going to do some signing as well. He's going to be there signing his book. So next week, Saturday, 5 p.m., January 28th, make sure you join us. It'll also be streamed. And, then we can get into some more aspects of what the calendar in the book is about. So I want to wrap it up. 1396 Fulton Street in Brooklyn. Okay, great. 96 Fulton Street is in the chat now. So anybody have any questions or comments? Anybody here in the room? All right, I see you, Sandis, Tepu, Laurie, Oluwatoyin, and Sylvia. Welcome. She already knows Nicholas. Yeah. Anybody have any questions or comments here in the room?
Neteru, Surah Ucha Ed. That's cool. I just wanted to just comment on the accuracy of the cycles in relationship to the readings. I started a home healthcare agency last year under all set of tech reading. I received my license during all set cycle on the 16th. The application goes to the 7th floor in Harrisburg. 1 and 6, 7. All set's number. Oh yeah, number for all set is 7, and I received the license on the 16th. And then the license was actually processed on the 7th floor. So that's one of my testimonies, and I've been using the Meduna Chair Oracle for now about 22 years. So yeah, and I'm making my way back into the community because I haven't been around. So good to see everybody. Neteru.
All right, all right. Yes, and if you haven't visited the website here, okay. So this is our website where you get the book. And by the way, the wall edition is now available as well. My partner, Meki Ra, some men did a beautiful job. You should be able to see that on your screen right here. Yep. So it's actually 4x2, right? 48 inches by 24 inches. It's big. And this goes up on your wall. It's a beautiful piece of art there. Oops. With the cycles. And it is $99.95. Yeah, it cost us quite a bit to get this made. This is actually made of the material that the dry erase, products are made from. So this is made for you to be able to write your stuff, and you have the whole cycle laid out here all the way till February of 2024. So that's available now. All right, but we also have a educational platform in here to give you some information, more supplemental information. And this is included when you buy the book, the journal, the calendar. And the brother shared a beautiful story. I have a beautiful story in here too about Neteru and how, people think, oh, you're tripping. You think this came from your meditation or this and that. How do you really know? You don't really know, but you do know when you know the DNA or the fingerprint, what we call the fingerprint of the God, the fingerprint of the Neteru, of the archangel. They have their colors, they have their numbers. His business is an Osset business when you think about it, right? It's caring, it's home care, health, care. And then he said he got an Osset Hetep reading, and in the Osset cycle, what are the odds? What are the chances of that? That's when his license comes through. And the number, yeah, that's only once a year, right? And the number, we only get one shot at Osset a year, right? And the numbers, we know her sacred number is 7. So that's when you learn how to do that reductional mathematics, right? So the 16th is a 7, right? You add the 1 to 6, you get 7. And then the thing is processed on the 7th floor. And we have 40 years of experience of this uncanny stuff happening over and over again in the number, the color, the personality of the Neteru. And this is where your spirituality is now a science, right? Because just like somebody can track you to the crime scene because your fingerprint is there, your DNA is there. We ain't guessing who was there. We know exactly who was there. That's the same way it is spiritually. We know who was there, whose energy it is. So thank you for that. That's a very powerful aspect to what we are learning here. So yeah, let's go watch my little video. It's one of the most uncanny stories, that's happened to us over the years and how it generated a business for us right there. So let's see if we have any other. Okay, Neteru, when will the locked position of the website for the calendars become unlocked in regards to the clan nakshatra planetary hours? Within the next 2 weeks, that will be all available, and there'll be more information. Also, make sure that you got your email this morning, because you will be getting monthly updates. How long does it take to get the journal and calendar? Usually within 3 days, you should have that. How can I get a moon sign chart reading? You can send an email to ausarasetpa@gmail.com. Can somebody post that in there? AUSARAUSET, like Pennsylvania. Brother Ernest down there in Belize, always there with us. Good to see you.
Someone asked about the calendar
shipping to Portugal. Okay, we'll have to consult the shipping department about that. And she just stepped out. So again, send an email to asarasetpa@gmail.com. Yes, that was Osura. You're in the Sebek clan? Sebek IO. Oh. Your Sebek clan brother there looking for you. All right, looks good. And if we live abroad, can we still get the planner, oracles, and meditation online? Good news, we are printing right now. Well, not right now, but Monday. I think by Wednesday, we'll have a UK edition available. So if you're in the UK or close by, they may be able to fulfill that for you. It does have the UK holidays and all that stuff on it. So they have the planner, and they should have the calendar by the end of this coming week available in the UK. All right. I want to thank everybody for coming out. And, oh, yes. Oh, I didn't know that. Okay. All right. So I was just informed, if you haven't gotten your book and you want to get it today, you can go ahead and order it. And whatever name you put on there, we will put a thank you message and sign your book for you. And calendar, yes. And readings are still available here, right, in Philadelphia. With a discount. If you order the book and the calendar, yes, you get a 50% off. Right. Get it today, yes. And if you are a subscriber to AAPA, that means that you're in the Pennsylvania area, Pennsylvania, Delaware, South Jersey. You can shoot us an email if you don't have the means to get a reading, and we will do it for you online through Zoom, okay? But that's subscribers only. I am a Sebek clan, true to my name. Matangi, okay, right on. Skirt to you. The opener of the way, that's what Sebek is, yes. All right, thank you, everyone. Neteru, peace and blessings.
Man is a divine being, says the Kamitic religion. But the early part of man's life is dominated by the human faculties and limitations. The essential focus of the ancient Egyptian religion is then the transcendence of the human stage and the realization of the true and final state, the divine nature. Divinity is realized by adherence to divine laws, and it confers upon man access to divine or superhuman abilities, the elevation of her mental abilities and talents, and qualifies her to enter into a partnership with God. Neteru, Volume 6, by Ra Nefer. Amen. I am the manner in which Kemet was able to bring forth the men and women from all walks of life who were responsible for its superlative civilization, unparalleled to this day. Man is a divine being.